Welcome, my name is Zenio Puck, or XP for short. Guess why I named myself that? Because it sounds like experience. Experience points from all the RPGs that I used to play. So today I thought about what I should talk about is how long it took me to get to financial independence. Because, like without that history, why should you trust anything that I have to say, right? So the real answer is basically as long as I've had a job. But the short answer is I didn't even hear about financial independence, retire early until I was like 35. So since I heard about it to when I retired, only took about 3 years. But that's just the financial independence piece, right? That's not really quite fair. I think the real answer being all my working life is more accurate because I was already, I was already a millionaire by the time I got to age 33. And once I read about the FIRE movement, and you know, it gave me some help in terms of like how to withdraw money, how much to withdraw, like the 4% rule. But the reality is that I've been preparing just unintentionally, really, all my previous working years too, right? The difference is I didn't realize that even when I had $1 million net worth, that probably was enough for me to let go of the corporate job, right? The reason why I continued working is just because I wanted to build up a larger margin of error, right? I think for those of you who are in this journey and thinking about financial independence, everyone's afraid. Okay, like even now, my wifey's still afraid, even though I'm already financially independent, and I think with my lady and I combined, she should be too, but she is still afraid of this concept of like, do we really have enough, right? I think that's one of the big impediments towards people actually letting go of their corporate jobs. It's understandable. Like I said, I felt the same way, right? From the moment that I was a millionaire to when I left the job, there's still like a 5 year gap there. So, you know, it's not a bad thing, okay? Unless you absolutely hate your job, which wasn't my case, okay? I worked at a great company, I had a great boss, and coworkers that I genuinely enjoyed working with. So for me, it's just 5 more years of continue doing what I'm doing and just, save up a bigger buffer, right? In case things go wrong. But I want to talk about is like, how did I get to the millionaire status, right? Because I think for most people, they dream about, oh, how can I ever become a millionaire? And, all the regular retirement planning advisors talk about how you need to be a millionaire by the time you're like 65, 67, real retirement age, right? I get it, right? Like some people might say, hey, $1 million isn't what it used to be. That's absolutely true. It's no amount of money is ever what it used to be, right? The difference is it's a nice round figure. People can easily grasp it, and most people don't have it, right? It wouldn't be special if most people already got to that stage, right? I think actually most people can get to that stage, especially if you're not, aiming for early retirement. However, it's still rare, and if you want to get to it earlier, like I said, I got there at age 33. Honestly, there's no secret trick to it at all, right? Like people who know me personally have asked me this question, and I'm like, just you either make more money or spend less money. That's all there is to it. That's why my very first video in this series about fire, it was about the savings rate, right? Like you spend less money and you make more money and your savings rate increases. And for me, I think in every year besides when I only made $30,000 a year, I was saving probably somewhere from 30% and upwards, more likely 50%, right? So I think the big difference here is like, just because there's no secret doesn't mean that this task is easy to accomplish, right? The method is simple but not easy. That's the thing I want you to keep in mind, right? Do you have the discipline to save your money first? Because that's always first, right? Like some people start talking about investment strategies. Let me be clear. If you don't have a good savings rate, right? If you're saving only $100 a month, it will take you, even with compound interest, it will take you way too long to get to any level of a realistic nest egg that you could try to spend down, right? So saving first, then you could talk about investment, right? Then you can talk about how to optimize the different allocations, stocks and bonds, alternatives, whatever, energy, Bitcoin, if you're into that. So I think what most people lack is the discipline of saving and investing over a long period, right? Like you might get excited when you watch a video and you might want to dip your hands into like stock trading or whatever, Bitcoin, that's the hot new thing. But doing that, over the course of a month or two, that's exciting. Maybe you make some money, maybe you lose some money. I mean, to me, any short-term investment is just speculation, right? If you buy and sell within the year or even within 5 years, you're not investing, you're just speculating, all right? And most people who do that tend to lose money, right? Some lucky few make a ton of money, and the most of us, 95% of us, lose money, right? So if you're doing that, you know what's going to happen? You're going to stop, even speculating because you thought that was investing, right? So without discipline and without time, that's why most people fail, right? Whereas what I accomplished was just a result of, having had good parents whose spending patterns and frugality I've copied because I observed them, right? They didn't teach it to me. I just observed what they were doing. And by doing that, I always consistently saved. And honestly, I didn't even make a real investment until I was in my mid-20s. So I didn't start super early or anything like that because I thought the amount that I had wasn't enough to really make a dent. And I didn't start a real 401k at the companies that I worked for until I was 30. That's how late I was to the game, right? Because previously to that, no company that I worked for gave 401k matches. Okay, so they're just smaller companies. They don't have really great benefits. But even then, okay, all my starting points are by no means early, right? Do I wish that I would have started, say, while I was in college or with the investing and then with the actual tax advantage accounts? Absolutely. But you know what? I still hit millionaire status in my early 30s, and I left the workforce completely before I got to 40, right? And so I think I'm doing pretty damn well. So hope this inspired you somehow, and I'll continue to work on this series to give you guys more workable advice because I think it's important, and this is all incredibly, incredibly achievable, right? It's not get rich quick. It definitely takes time, but it can be done if you have the discipline to do it. Good night.